Hi everybody,
Hi everyone.
Maya and Philip here. First of all, congratulations to all of you for being in this competition and submitting your work. That really takes a lot of courage, so well done first of all for that.
We are really looking forward to guide you over the next 6 weeks through a process of your choreographic journey. We're really excited to see how you will get challenged and develop.
Great. Okay, so we're going to start with the first submission. So Paula, first of all, again, well done. A total of 9.5 points from us. So we have composition, 2.5 points. So in the space of the body, I think you used really well, especially in the beginning of the program and at the end. They were really strong in terms of shape, clarity and size, and you didn't instantly use the full space around the body, which kept it interesting and it grew. Then we have execution, 3.5 points, really well done from Marai. And the camera angles we found really well done. Like, it looked really well thought through. The proximity was very interesting. The relationship between the camera and the skater was really, very rich with the feeling and the emotion that the piece had. Then creativity, we also have 3.5 points. As I already said, the beginning and the end, we experienced as really strong. In the middle, we lost a little bit the development of the theme of the movements. And you went really in like large size, like very elegant movements, which I didn't completely understand. And then the connection of the body, of the skater to their own body was really strong as well. And then emotionally, it was very clear. So yeah, really well done and great, good.
Okay, second piece, Cameron. I really enjoyed this piece of work. We for the composition, we gave you 3.5 points, and what I really liked, what we really liked was the use of in this case Jeremy's body, how you really made use of his body movements. Less so the space of the ice. I think that's where you can try to reach out more, or like look more for the usage of the space. The body was great, really interesting, diverse angles. The beginning, I loved the beginning, really odd, nice rhythmic movements. And then I lost a bit the idea if there was a climax supposed to be. There was no clear ending, it faded out. But yeah, 3.5 points for composition. Execution and creativity, definitely strong parts of this piece. So we gave you 4.5 points for both of those categories. So 4.5 points execution, really clear intention of the quality of the movements. Maybe a down low, like we gave you 0 points for the video execution, because it wasn't really clear, it didn't seem like well thought through where the camera was supposed to be, and so that's definitely something you can look more into. But otherwise, wonderful execution, also really well executed by Jeremy. Creativity, again, 4.5 points. Really just strong, funky quality of the whole piece and of the movements. Really a lot of unexpected moves, and I would love to watch more. So really strong points. So in total, 12.5 points. Really well done.
All right, next we have Vashti with Caitlin. So first of all, starting with composition, and 2.5 points from both of us for composition. We really enjoyed that you used the space very clearly. The lines were very clear in the beginning, the axis that you used in the general space, and then it was clear when you switched to more curvy pathways in the space. However, the space within the body, so within the kinesphere. I felt it was a lot of large movements in the same size. So this is something you could experiment with a little bit more. So using different sizes, like close to the body, something small, medium, and large. So bringing a little bit more diversity there into that. In execution, we have 3 points. We really enjoyed the camera angle also. It was really nicely done in the way that sometimes it was close and then full body, and we could really see the emotional expression on the face that also gave us like a very good sense of the piece itself. However, in the general structure, we felt it was a little bit predictable because the movements kept the same size and they were always going with the rhythmic structure of the music. So this is something you could experiment with to try to maybe interrupt the rhythm of the music with the choreography. Yeah, good. And then we have creativity. We have 2 points. Here, very similar to what I already said, it was a little bit predictable in the size and the dynamic with music. Even though the spatial structure was very good, emotionally it was very clear. And this is actually for everybody, but also for you, of course. We don't know you guys yet, and this is the first piece we're seeing. So we're really excited to see where you can take the next pieces and where you're going to go along in these next weeks. So I'm curious to see how your work is going to develop when you take the spatial structures with the movement structures of the body together, and then where that can go. So a total of 7.5 points. Well done.
All right. Next up is Ryan. Your piece, skated by Paulina. Wow, what a beautiful skater you have there. Absolutely enjoyed the performance. So let's analyze it a bit more. We gave you 3.5 points for the composition, like a beautiful piece, very clear in its movement qualities, but also quite predictable, like in a beautiful, pretty way. We really liked how you made use of the space of the ring. Like it seemed to us you really made your mind about how you want to create actually space, take up space. Was nicely supported by the skater and the music, but less so the body. I think you could try to think more how can you make use of your skater's body movements other than just big movements. So overall, a very incredible, good classical structure, but a bit predictable. Execution, 4 points. I mean, so well done, so well executed by Paulina. In a way, it seems a bit almost like too balletic. We loved the camera. Really thought you were making your mind of following her, giving space, creating a bit of distance to see also, take up more space, and then get back closer. It seemed to us you really made your mind about the video, the angles, which is great. Overall, again, quite predictable. So think about maybe how you can break things up regarding the music, but also the movements. Creativity, I think that's the strongest part we think you can improve. We gave you 1 point for creativity of that piece. It was beautiful, but predictable. I'm kind of repeating myself here. So I think
there was those two moments in the beginning. One moment in the beginning where you suddenly used the hands and different rhythms.
And there was this one unpredictable moment in the kind of step sequence where she goes up with the knee and the hands. That was like, oh, nice surprise.
Yeah.
Apart from like long movements, long lines, yeah.
Yeah. So we both felt that there is a particular quality that you can really expand on because it is there. It was there. yeah, so playing with the size of the movement, playing with the rhythmic quality in juxtaposition to the music, or even with the music, but maybe challenging a little bit your reflection of the dynamics in the music.
Yeah, so overall, really well done. Excited to see more.
Yeah, with a total of 8.5 points.
With a total of 8.5, did I miss that? Yeah, total of 8.5.
All right, up next we have Jordan with May. First of all, really fun, enjoyable number that just, yeah, really sparks a lot of joy. We really enjoyed, especially the beginning, the movement qualities, the dynamics you used, and you also worked with the music really well. It was really reflecting the music also, which often I do criticize, but in this piece, like it worked really nicely. And the body movements in the beginning were really strong. And then a little bit throughout the piece, I lost a little bit the intention. It went to like just large skatey arm movements. So I think there's something where you could develop and grow a little bit to see, even if you're doing a normal skating move, for example, like a split jump or some other like steps that you did and kicks, how can you use the arm movements to make the position a little bit more different to just the regular lines that we normally see with those moves. Or so for composition, we gave you 4.5 points, and we felt that it was like a really great show number. Like this piece in a professional production would be really fun to see. You used the space really well. It was very clear that like she was going for it, and I'm here, I'm taking the space, that's what I'm doing. So that was good. And then for execution, we gave you 4 points. Really well skated also by May, like with the facial expressions. Actually, I mean, we only mentioned it with some of the skaters, but all of the skaters were just really wonderful performers. The camera also was really nice because she worked with the facial, with the eye contact, really using the camera to connect to the digital audience. So that was really good. The music was fun and energetic, and I'm interested. I would have loved to see where the energy would go if the piece was longer. Then for creativity, we gave you 2.5 points. It was, I think we both kind of agreed that like it was so fun and energetic and dancey. And we're both curious, as we already mentioned, we don't know you guys yet. So we're curious to see where you can take it and where you can tweak, where you can bring a little bit more flavor from yourself and the person that you're working with. How you can bring that a little bit more in terms of the movement. So movement size, again, what I said before, like in the skating part. So not the stationary movement parts, but in the skating and the arm movement parts. The slide was absolutely cool. We love that.
Epic slide.
And so the creativity is the part we think you can develop most. Looking forward to the next pieces of sound or music, whatever you're going to use, and for you and everybody else, seeing more of the development. And the total is 11 points.
Okay, next up is Choral, with Ashley skating, performing it. Another beautiful, pretty number. Really enjoyed watching it. So overall, we gave you 7.5 points. So let's look a bit more into it. Composition, we gave you 3.5. I think it was a pretty piece, beautiful composed with like a clear beginning and end. Although within, we weren't sure if there was supposed to be a certain storyline or climax, but still a clear setup. the skating pattern looked a bit normal, regular. So we were wondering if you could look more into breaking up those curvy movement patterns, the usage of the space, basically. If you can think about more how to make use of that. Overall, the also from the composition, the body movements of Ashley were mostly very, very big and slow. Not slow, but sharp and floaty. Those are the qualities that came to our minds. Beautiful, but we were wondering if you could look into more different shades of those different spectrum. No, what I'm looking for the right word. You had floaty and sharp, that was clear to us, but can you work a bit more intricate with different execution of being floaty or sharp, like
Yeah, or integrating tension.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, execution, we gave you 3 points. Beautifully executed by Ashley. We thought the camera really well used, nicely followed, some really beautiful close-ups, good connection with the camera of the skater. And okay, let's come to creativity. We gave you 1 point overall. So I think the strongest part to, get challenged and try to work on that. We were basically thinking there wasn't much creativity in terms of the movements we saw, breaking up the movements with the music you chose. Again, floaty, sharp, beautiful movements, but we're looking if you could surprise us more with what's a bit more, what is your quality, unique quality there, which of course will come over the next weeks. Yeah, overall 7.5 points. So again, really well done. Looking forward for the coming weeks, how you can implement some of our impressions. So everyone, really well done. Really enjoyed it. Until next week.
Yeah, and then just like one more thing, I think for all of you, is that I would like to encourage you to try to look for particular music that might not be super expected. So a lot of you were using pop songs, which is totally fine, but also the way they're structured, the beat, that the repetitive beats and the melody and the text is all quite how to say, like it's already everything's already there, and then it kind of gives you everything already. So have a look about how you can maybe challenge yourself in terms of using sound and music in the next coming weeks for the challenges that is a little bit less predictable, and that you can work a little bit more with filling, like starting with the movement and then seeing what music maybe works. So that would be one suggestion where I'm interested to see, definitely challenging all of you to challenge yourself to use different types of sounds. That would be very interesting for us.
And I would be curious to see if you can look more into making use of the space you have available. And with space, I mean not just the ice as the surface, but some of you made use of the boards, but sometimes just to push away. So like make use of the space, like research also, the space of the ice, and obviously all the space above and like maybe on the ice, but also what's around the ice. So think wider.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then one more thing to the space also, just because the ice is there doesn't mean you have to use all of it, right? So just really like be intentional with what you want to express. So if you have a certain message, then really think about how can I bring that across without just suddenly moving through the whole, like moving across the eyes. Like, what do I really need? What space do I need to show what I want to show?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Good
Have
luck.
a wonderful week, everyone. Until next week.